My name is Lisa, and I'm an internal support coordinator with WEX FSM, and I want to welcome you all to today's session of Solution Studios. There's 20 sessions in the rotation that will cover different features of the software. The first 4 days of the week will cover different features, and Fridays will be reserved for open Q&As. So to access the sign-up calendar, you go to your Help Center and search for Help, and go to search for Solution Studio. The article will come up that contains the calendar and the previous webinar replays so that you can review them as needed for anything that you might have missed. And then as we move forward, there will be more recordings for the additional ones that we do. Remember, these sessions are not a replacement for customer support. If you need customer support, do not wait until the webinar. Make sure that you reach out directly down in your help center and contact support as quickly as possible so they can get on that for you because they're there waiting to help you. We have a short survey at the end to tell us how we're doing, and we'd appreciate it if you could fill it out. We'd also like to know if there's anything else that you would like us to go over in our webinars. So we appreciate your help, and if you can fill that out, that would be great. Today, we're going over reporting, and we have quite a few different reports in here, and we have some upcoming reports. So we're going to start in one section at a time and start working our way through the reports. So let's get started. Okay, so in our system, under reporting, you would come to this landing field. And we have lots of options in here, and some of you may have it signed up for advanced reporting. We'll be taking care of that later in our sessions because there are some new updates that are going to be coming out. So I want to make sure that I go over those with you after they're released. We also have a different session that's set up for accounts receivable and aging for the accounting section. So I'm going to move down to the customers, and we're going to work in the customer section today to see how you can get more out of the software for your reporting. So the first item at the top is the dashboard, and most people don't even really realize it's up here. And it's one of our most unused features. So if you click on it, anything in our system red you can click on, and anytime there is a box with an arrow, it will open it in a new tab for you. And you go to the dashboard, and you have several options today, this week, this month. If you want to see how you're doing for the year, you can also edit the date range. So if you're looking for a specific quarter or a specific time, you can do that. One of the other things that about this report that goes under the radar is these three little dots here. So if you click on these three little dots, you can expand the module and you can see the module description. And this is really important because if you think something is not showing up that should be showing up in one of these sections, take a look at what this is pulling. So customers with recent activity, maintenance plan customers, total customers. When you get down to invoicing, this is particularly important because invoice highlights. Invoice total is the sum of all invoices with an issue date within the date range, excluding invoices with a status of open draft or voided. The system sees invoices that are in the open draft status as not complete, and they don't include them in these totals. So if you're missing items, you may want to go to the invoice list, and make sure that all of your invoices that you believe are complete are set to presented or another status. Maybe you haven't emailed them to the customer yet, so you could email it and become presented. If you know that it's was completed and already sent out to it, but somebody opened it back up to look at something on there, you can go ahead and close it so that it will show up on this report. So this is a test system, so we have a lot of ugly stuff in here. So we have some interesting customer names as well. So I'm going to go to this year to see the stats. So we've had 126 customers with recent activity, and 55 maintenance plan customers have had activity. We have invoice total for this time of so far this year of 103,000, total payment 70,000, and we still have 33,000 uncollected. And as a manager or an owner, you may want to come in here and take a peek at this and see how your business is doing. This would tell me that the techs are not collecting in the field. So you may want to have a meeting and say, hey, I know sometimes it's hard to take a payment from somebody and ask for money, but if we've done the service and we're due upon receipt, you may want to go ahead and collect that money so that this third of the invoices that are created here are unpaid. So appointment completion, this will tell you if your techs are completing the appointments or not. If they're not completing the appointments, that means that if you're doing job costing, that appointment time is not getting on that job so that you can see the labor cost. So you want to get your techs to complete the appointments. Sales opportunities to see how many proposals you won. Opportunities, especially when we get to the proposal report, you'll notice that there's a lot more proposals than opportunities. And that is because each job only allocates for one opportunity. On that job, you may have more than one proposal. You may have a proposal comparison. So you may have 3 proposals on there, up to 8 proposals on there for a proposal comparison. It's still only one sales opportunity. And whatever the customer chooses, then that will be your close rate for one opportunity and one close. It's not going to give you 7 opportunities if you have 7 proposals on the job. It's just one, and people get confused about that a little bit. The accepted dollar amount, your appointment status. If they're not clocking in and out of the jobs, you're going to see a lot of missed appointments and appointments that are not complete. Okay. The other feature over here is a really nice feature, and it shows the United States because this is a test account, and we have people from all over who are creating appointments in here. And so it has a wide range. But as you see, there's a really large circle right around Charlotte, which is our home base. Um, in your location, this will be a smaller view, and you can kind of see in your area where all of your appointments are being scheduled. So let's say if you have, I'm going to just leave it as large size and use states as the boundary. But let's say you have these appointments that are way out here, and your service area is here. You may need to make a decision whether you're not going to service that area or you're going to charge an additional fee for that person to drive from North Carolina to Wisconsin. So you may need to charge a little extra money for that and let your customers know that if they're in that location when they call in, there is going to be an additional fee for the drive because you're paying for gas. And as we all know right now, gas is really expensive. So this appointment grouping will tell you where your customers are. And also, let's say this is in your service area, but nobody is scheduling an appointment from here. You may want to do marketing in that area, or you may want to decide nobody uses us in this area. They use somebody else and they're very loyal to them. They're not going to jump ship and come over to us. You may change your service area. So this is a very helpful feature to see so that you can see where your customers are and where your money's coming from. The payment mix is important because you can see whether most of your payments are coming in by card processing, whether they're coming in cash, whether they're coming in by check. If you take these checks to the bank and you have cash, then you are only paying a processing fee on this amount of all the payments that are coming in to your company. So if this starts to get out of balance to where you're doing more credit card processing than cash or checks, you may want to look at your pricing to make sure that you're accounting for that credit card processing fee to make sure that you are actually making money. Payments by job type. This will tell you where you're getting paid and by what job type. So it's just a little bit more information. This one just basically lets you know that you're getting paid on service and you're getting paid on install, but not so much on some of these other ones. So some of the appointments and things that we've created in invoices in the system, this is a test account, are sitting there unpaid. You also have basic technician leaderboard on here so that you can get a quick view of how many appointments they're completing, if they're doing proposals, their average invoice, and their average amount of payments they're taking. So you can take a peek at any of these and get a general idea of the health of your company all on one page. And like I said, this is one of the most underused ones that we have in our system. The next one we're going to look at is the actual customer report. And you can get a lot of information off of these customer reports and the maintenance plans reports. And a lot of people don't go in and take a peek at them. So for analytics, you can come in and you can see the last visit date for your customer. This is crazy important because if you have a customer that was created several years ago and you haven't done service, that means either they're not doing service or one of your competitors is now has your customer and they are doing the service for your customer. So one of the things, reconnect. One of the things that you may want to do is to print this report out and give it to, maybe you have call takers. Maybe you have dispatchers that aren't quite busy in the slow season. So you could go ahead and download this and have them reach out to the customers that haven't had a last visit date in the last year, offer them some special offer, maybe a $99 checkup. And once you get there, maybe sell them a maintenance plan so that they get two visits instead of just the one. And it's a great selling tool. You can also see, for some reason, this didn't refresh quite well. So let's refresh this again. It'll take a couple seconds, but you can see the total invoice, the total proposals for the customers, and some basic information about your customers and their creation date so that you can kind of see as a whole your customer base. And your customer base is the value of your company. If you ever decide to sell your company, that customer list is very, very valuable. That's where you get your income from. So monitoring them, making sure that you see that they have had a visit recently. And also the referral source is great. The referral source tells you where you're getting your customers. So up under settings and oops, customers and scheduling is where the referral list is. And it's just basically a list, and you can add a new referral source. It's just a name. But when you have a customer, let me go to Jack Dawson, and you create a new customer, you can put in the system where you got that customer from. Okay. So you would come up here and go to one of these items. That was what was on that referral list. And you can add more. You may have a technician who you hire who says that he has a whole list of customers from his other employment that he's going to bring with him. So you may want to name this as that technician's name as a referral source. And when a new customer comes in, he says, that's mine. You can put it here. And then you can run the report to see how much revenue and how many customers he actually brought to your company when he came. Because let's face it, sometimes people go, the pie in the sky. I'm going to bring hundreds. I'm bringing everybody with me. They love me. Well, you offer to pay him a higher hourly rate because he's going to be bringing all these people in and maybe giving him a spiff off of who they bring in. And that way you'll actually know how many he's bringing in. Now, in our system, a referral is how you get the customer, and a lead is how you get the job. They may be one and the same thing. So you may have gotten the customer off of Facebook. And when that customer calls in, they buy a system. That lead where they got the job might be Facebook as well. So in the industry, these two terms are confused a lot. Some people use leads as referrals and referrals as lead. But the way the system is set up in WEX FSM, is how you got the customer is the referral and how you got the job is the lead. Okay. So the next one is the email and text status delivery. So we have a report in our system that tracks whenever you send an email out. And so it just gives basic information. And you can sort through this. I'm not going to go through all of them because it's just a record of that these were sent. You can sort by email or text. You can sort by the status. You can look by a customer if you're looking to see if one customer got it. One of the things about Tableau reports, and this is what this was built in, to download this, it's this square box. You choose the download and you would choose crosstab, and that will download it into Excel for you. So if you're looking to do that, you can. The next report is maintenance plans. And these two reports, maintenance plans and maintenance plan customers, are very, very similar. They give just a little bit different information. The maintenance plan customers is basically all about the customers, right? You've got the name, the plan. Anything in our system where you don't see the drop down is a multi-select. So you can come in here and click anybody with a future plan as well. Okay. You can say, okay, I want to see everybody who's expiring next month. You can come in and go, okay, it is March. I want to see anybody in April of 2026 who's expiring. Excuse me. And I want to see if they have their service windows complete, if they're what their start and their expiration date is. If I haven't done these, that customer paid for these. So either you have a policy that says you reach out and try to schedule these as much as humanly possible to get them scheduled, and they lose them if they don't get them scheduled within that year, or you can go back and try to get these scheduled for the customer again. Um, Reach out multiple times. You may not ever be able to get them because sometimes people move, they don't want to respond. So, but the idea of having a maintenance plan is to get their service done spring before the AC season starts, fall before the heating starts, and to anchor that customer to you so that when they do need a new system, they reach out to you first. And so some people, like I say, some companies say that if they don't get it scheduled within that year, they lose it, but then you also lose that tie to your customer for them to reach out to you first. The other thing about this report tells you that they have a current plan and they have a future plan. So on this customer, they should have a future plan as well. If this is no, then this becomes a sales opportunity that you can reach out to renew them for the next year. Okay. The next one is the maintenance plan report. And this gives you a little bit more information about the actual maintenance plan. Because some of the information from the other report is the same, the customer, the plan location, the plan name, and it wants me to reconnect, but I don't want to do that because it's going to refresh my screen here. The start date, the expiration date, the contract price, and you can see if they're paid. So if they are not paid, you can go to collect and you can make the decision as a company if you are going to do the service since this has not been paid. Because if they never pay, then you are working for free. Plan payment status is unpaid. The sales agent is something that kind of runs under the radar as well. So when you sell a maintenance plan, there is a field on the plan that says sales agent. A lot of people don't even realize that it's there or what to use it for. So you can go in and choose the person who sold it. No, there we go. And then it will show up on this report as the sales agent. Okay. One of the other things, the Tableau reports, you'll notice is it has a little bar here. And sometimes there are more fields on this report than will show up in this little area. So make sure that you scroll all the way to the bottom. And so this one doesn't have any, but it's like there's a little one that will just get the last little bit of that for you over there. So let's see. If you wanted to see all plans expiring in the year, you just select which year. And if you want to sort by sales agent, any of the filters that are in here, but it's almost the same report, but just a little bit different. So one of the other things that we have in the system, these maintenance plans reports, the two of those, but we also have a way that you can monitor them here under the jobs tab, because we have lists for everything and we have reports for everything. So if you were looking for the maintenance plan list, you would come here and you would see this list, and it has almost the same things as the report, but no download option. You do have some sort options, not as many, but no way to download this. So if you're looking to download it, do some Excel statistics in Excel for your maintenance plan, you can use that other report, one of those other reports, and download them so that you can do it. But these are just basically that, a list. If you're looking for something, you can come in here and choose anybody with an outstanding balance and do a quick check to see if you're getting paid. Also the multi-select status box, expired, current, and future, and some options up here as well. The last report that we're going to look at here is the equipment report, the equipment and warranty report. So the equipment and warranty report is a great report. So let's say somebody, Amanda, is having a recall on one of their coils. If you know the install date and you know the equipment name or the model number, you can come in here and search for that and pull up that equipment. Anybody who has that model number air handler that has a coil in it that is bad, you can reach out to them and contact them to say, hey, we have a recall on your coil. We're going to go ahead and get that replaced for you. What would be a good time to get it scheduled? Okay. One of the other things is this report, if you're looking for something and you don't see a customer or a piece of equipment, if the equipment was entered without an install date, you have the option here to include equipment with no install date. Or you can do it with only the ones that you have an install date. So you can go either way. If you don't see it in here, check to make sure that this is true, that includes all equipment with no install date. Otherwise, it will not show up on the report. You can go by warranty status, manufacturer, all of these different items to find out where that equipment is, and also to use this to download to check to see the system age. Okay, so that you can use these for sales. Because if you have a system that's maybe over 10 years old, these are sales opportunities. Okay. So these are the basic reports we're going to go over today. We're going to kind of break these up. I wanted to give everybody time to ask any questions about these reports, um, or see if they have any problems with reports that we can help with. So if you have any questions about them, just unmute yourself. We're a small group today so that you can go ahead or put it in the chat. Because we try to use the first 20 minutes or so of the webinar to kind of go over the reports, go over the item, show how it works, what's all connected in the system, and then save the rest of the time for you guys. The Help Center down here on the right, would be how you contact support in case you need assistance. The search for help, you would search Solution Studio, and we have several articles in here, but the one that has the calendar is the Advanced Working Sessions and Learning, so that you can see what this entails and get down to the calendar to sign up for any other sessions that you might want to attend. When you click on this section here, it opens it in a new tab, so it's a little bit easier to read and see what's going on. Tomorrow, we have the Open Office Q&A. When you register for this webinar, there'll be a place to put in a question so that you can submit it ahead of time so that we can make sure that we try to get the right people on the call and the answers for you so that when you come on, we're ready for that subject matter. And then next week, we're back to managing accounts receivable. We start the 20 rotation over again. Monday's accounts receivable and Tuesday are sync errors. And these were really popular the last time that we did them. So we should be getting some more people to come in on those. So if anyone doesn't have any questions, I'm going to let you guys go and get back to work. And you have a great rest of your day. It's Friday Eve. Tomorrow is Friday. So enjoy your evening and your upcoming weekend. Thank you and have a good day.